You know, pins are really overused, I think, by domestic sewers. And sometimes if you're using a delicate fabric, you end up making marks in the fabric, or if you were using a velvet, like a crushed velvet, it's actually a pain having pins, because when you sew, it sort of bunches up the material as you approach the pin, and so you have to sort of restart it. So what we do is we do notches, and we use them as landmarks. So before I would begin, I'd line up my first notch, and I'd simply, in my mind, I'm just working to that first notch. I would then work on, find the next one, and then move to the next notch. And I just do that on, you know, 3 meters of fabric, or in this case, 80 centimeters. How to cut fur. This is how you cut fur. Use a blade. That's so important. You can do little snips with your scissors, so you do not cut that back pile, all right? Or what's much quicker is to use a scalpel or a blade. And then all you do is, my blade is really, really sharp, so I'm hardly applying any pressure on that blade. And then look, I can just pull it apart, so I get that lovely pile. And I'll just do it all the way round, cutting with the blade. Now I want you to see this. Look how lovely that pile is. And the other brilliant thing is there's no mess. Where's the mess? There's no mess. Russian hat. Got a strip. That's about 2 inches bigger than the circumference of my head. Pushing all my seams in, no, pushing the pile in, and I'm going to use a zigzag stitch. Medium size zigzag stitch, and only sewing on the edge. Right, when you've done that, it will look like that. And the right side, that's why we cut the fur of the blade and zigzag on the edge, so that we get all the pile just coming over the seam, so it's like magic, and it hides it. And then we just lay that down on top. Now we want to hold it in place, and we don't want any pins. So I did think I had some thinner masking tape, but I've only got this thick stuff, so I'm just going to cut it a bit thin, because you can stitch through masking tape, it's fine, and then you can just pull it off afterwards. So I'm just going to cut some thinner strips of masking tape and put it across my zip with a view to pulling it off afterwards. So I think I'm going to put one there, because it has to be lined up properly.
This looks interesting.
It looks like an operation.
It does.
Wow, that's like magic.
Well, sewing is magic. But first we've got to take off all this masking tape. Turn around, show them your zip.
The zip.
Look how perfect that zip is. When you put the zip behind, it should look like that. Now, we will be stitching very close to the edge to hold it in place. But just to make it a bit easier, I'm going to slip a little bit of this bonder web between, and then I'll give it a good old press, and it will hold it in place, ready for me to sew. So I'm going to do it on that side, oops, this side too. Be careful how you carry it to the machine, because you don't want anything moving around. Going to be sewing 1 mil from that edge, and just take your time and just work your way all the way round. So look, that's what we've got so far. Now this is a little trick, no big deal, but Shaz was really impressed with it the other day, to make sure that your gathers become equal. Stretch it, maximum stretch, let it stretch back, and then they'll be equally gathered.